All right, guys, welcome into the podcast. This is episode number 3. We just got done with Sandusky. What an event, man. We got a lot to unpack there. We had a good time. We ended up having 20 boats show up. I think the weather scared some people off, which was rightfully so. As a tournament director, the weather is always hard to predict. That's always a hard call to make. Looking back, as many do, I probably should have changed the tournament to Sunday when the weather was nice with no wind. But we already had several teams up there pre-fishing, ready to go. So that was a tough call on my end. We decided to keep it on Saturday. The wind was a little choppy all day. The storm at the end was brutal. Just the wind I could have dealt with. The storm at the end had me pretty nervous. But the good news is everybody made it back in. Everybody was okay. We saw fantastic weights last week, including the weights of these guys here who took second place, which I believe was 62 and a half pounds or something like that. Yeah.
It was 65.
65.2. So, unbelievable weights. I thought it was going to take 50 to 55 to win, and boy, was I wrong. I had 58 and was nowhere near winning. So, as we dive in here, introduce you guys here. This is Spencer and Peyton. They fish together often. I've known Peyton for about a year now. We're both on the professional team for Cast King. So, guys, why don't you kind of introduce yourself? Let us get a little bit of your catfishing background, things like that.
You can go ahead, Peyton.
You can start, Spencer.
Well, my catfishing background. I've been flathead fishing for about close to, I'd say, 6-7 years now. Just started tournament fishing probably 2-3 years ago. Don't got much like tournament wins, but I don't know. But we got close to, I got a couple top 10 places, but nothing more than that besides last weekend's second place. And really, that's about it. I mean, I've caught decent flatheads since my whole time I've been flathead fishing, but Saturday, was the biggest channel cats I've ever caught.
Some of those channel cats out of the Sandusky Bay are the biggest channel cat you ever see.
Yeah, I figured that out.
What about you, Peyton?
Well, I've been catfishing my whole life. I was doing it for fun. And 3 years ago, I fished another Sandusky Bay tournament and placed second from the bank. And it actually got me really hooked on tournament fishing. So I started chasing tournaments and then slowed down because I had my son. And then me and Spencer talked on and off about fishing tournaments a lot, and we never have until this year. And the stuff started taking off for us. We figured our groove out on the boat, and we worked together as a team. Great.
Awesome. Why don't you tell us about what your guys' plan going into Saturday was and the program you guys implemented?
There really wasn't much of a plan. It was a last-minute decision to fish it for me. And, yeah, the plan was just catch fish. Go out there, have fun, catch fish, and if we got something, we got something.
You have anything to add to that, Peyton?
I was almost not able to fish the tournament because my partner backed out on me. And Spencer called me up. He's like, "Hey, I can fish it." I'm like, "Thank you." And we launched, and basically I was just scanning for a minute and just found a random spot to anchor up on, and we found the fish.
Good. And you guys found some dandies too. What was your guys' big fish?
22.
Yeah. People that don't fish the Sandusky Bay don't understand how great that fish is. 22-pound fish. Not all of us are Sean Dolphin and come up with a 26 and a 23. I couldn't break 20. My biggest was 18 and a half, but the Sandusky Bay is just phenomenal. Kevin, how you doing, brother? Welcome in. So my wife and I, we had a solid plan jumping into Saturday. I knew that it was going to be rough. I knew going to Dempsey was going to be a bad idea, but I have the boat for it. And so I ran from Sandusky, from Shelby Street up to Dempsey for my first spot, which worked out great. We anchored on the hump and we caught a bunch of fish. It was just left and right. But the problem was it was a washing machine, man. It started out as 2s, then it went to 3s, and then all of a sudden we were in 4s, and they were still climbing. So we fished there for probably an hour, hour and a half, and I got a video, and we're just sitting there, and it was unbelievable. I mean, you can see the skyline at the base of my multi-bars, and then you can't see it. And then you can see it again, and then you can't see it. I mean, it was rough. So my wife was like, well, listen, I can't take any more of this. She couldn't even reel any fish in out there because she couldn't stand up. So we probably caught 10 or 15 out there. We ran back up to the boat ramp, and we drug the ledge there by the coal chute. We picked a few more up there, but ultimately we ended between the bridges where everybody else goes. So it was a great weekend for channel casts. I mean, other than the weather was a little rough, it was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. And we caught, I mean, I don't know how many 15-pound fish we released. 20 probably. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, our first fish was 15.
We the one that we ended up weighing as our second big fish, I screwed up at the end of the day. We had a 15 and a 13, and then we caught that big one, and I released a 15.
We did that too.
But it just got, I mean, it got hectic. Our last spot that we anchored up on, we found a mussel bed that was just holding a ton of fish, and we threw out, and I threw my first rod out, got ready to take my second rod, unhooked it, looked over her, told me to get bait, looked over, the first rod was gone. Reeled it in, threw the second rod out, looked over at her, said, hand me a piece of bait, looked up, second rod was gone. It was probably an hour in that spot before we could even get all the poles in the water. And Craig Williams was sitting right next to us doing the same thing. I mean, in that spot alone, in the last 2 hours, I think we caught 40-some fish. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, our first spot was our best producing spot by far.
Yeah, it wasn't for us. I mean, we caught a lot of fish in our first spot, but it seemed like the further the day went on, the later it got, the fishing got much better for us.
That's like our third fish was our big fish.
Really?
Yeah. Like we had our limit by what, 6:45?
Oh yes.
We limited out quick too. We had our limit right away. It was just trying to keep up and get all the fish cycled in and out. You know, we spent so much time trying to bump fish and get them back in the water and weigh fish. I mean, you know, it was almost like I wish I had a third person that was just weighing fish.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The Andy Ward says the wind makes good current and that helps fish get active. So actually, let me tell you guys something. I did figure something out up there about quarter way through the day. When we made it over the bridges, I anchored up on the other side of the drawbridge, on the Route 2 side of the drawbridge. The current was pulling back through the bridge against the wind. And I ended up setting up, it would have been on the north side of the bridge, and I was casting to my left. And if I went 3 pillars out, I'd cast my pole, I'd let it hit. I changed out to a 1-ounce sinker, and it would hit, and I was bumping. I would take my rod, I'd lift it up, and I'd bounce that sinker in the current, and I caught like 13 fish doing that. It was unbelievable. I was fishing with one rod. We caught all of our fish in that spot with one rod. None of the other rods even got bit. We were bass fishing for them pretty much, and it was a blast. I've never caught them like that before. So the current did, right there under the drawbridge, the current picked them up. Kevin Walter says the Monster Cat team is proud to bring Peyton McGarry on board. He is a wonderful young man and has a true passion for fishing. Ryan Clark says, what's going on, y'all? I still need to get up there. I missed this one, but I hope to make it one soon. Good job, everyone that fished it. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of fish beat. Actually, coming up, I believe Alex Baker was there. So Alex Baker got to see how it was. Like I said, it was rough. The wind was fine. I wasn't scared about the wind or the waves, but it was there at the end, that storm kind of freaked me out. That storm came 2 hours early. It wasn't supposed to be there. I was in a hurry trying to get in and out. Ended up, I spun a prop trying to get back to the ramps, and then I was caught in the storm. So it was rough. There's Daniel. There's Daniel Holgreave. He's All Ohio Flooring. He's our trail sponsor. So back to Sandusky. Like I said, we had a good time. Obviously, Peyton, you fish that place a whole lot more than I do. I believe you live pretty close to there. Spencer, is that your first time going up there?
Yeah, that was my first time ever being there.
And it was probably the best place you've ever fished in your entire life.
Yeah. Say for channel catch, yeah.
All Flooring, Ohio. I did that on purpose, Daniel. But Yeah, you know, honestly, I love fishing the river, and that's where I'm good at. You know, I do decent at these channel cat tournaments. I can typically be found in the top 5, except for in Sandusky, but the Sandusky Bay is by far the best cat fishing in the country. I don't care what you're fishing for. You know, you can't go anywhere and catch 100 fish and 50 of them be over 15 pounds. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoy the Sandusky Bay. Um, it was it was fun, you know. Daniel had never been there either. He went up there for his first time. There were several first time Sandusky Bay fishermen up there this year. So there is an event on Sandusky Bay in 2 weeks. Are you guys fishing Tyra's event?
I'm fishing it.
I don't know if I want to make it.
Yeah, so we're going to be up there for the Dirty South Dragon Weight 2-day event. Daniel and I are, I believe, going as well. I have a tournament that I'm fishing down here that weekend too. So Saturday we're going to fish that event in the morning and then drive down here and fish Willie Smith's event in the night. And then, or I'm driving back. I'm going to leave my boat here, and then I'm going to run back up there on Sunday to fish with Daniel again up there. So 2 weeks from now is a busy weekend for me.
Have fun with that.
I'm paid up for it. Daniel says that place is awesome. Yes, it is. So let's preview Griggs. Are you guys coming to Griggs?
I'm trying to.
Have you ever fished Griggs before?
No, I haven't.
So Griggs is a pool on the Scioto River. So there's a couple pools on the Scioto River where they put a dam. They dammed it up. You got above Griggs, you have O'Shaughnessy, and then as you come below O'Shaughnessy, you have Griggs. I don't know that I'm telling this story 100% accurately, but it's what I've heard is that at one time that dam at O'Shaughnessy blew out or something. They tore it down. Something happened to the dam at O'Shaughnessy. When that happened, all the flatheads in O'Shaughnessy ended up in Griggs. It is unbelievable that if you fish Griggs, you'll catch a bunch of flatheads. If you fish O'Shaughnessy, you'll catch a bunch of channel cats. But the flatheads in Griggs are not very big. The biggest one I've caught out of there is 18 pounds. I think a couple of the other people I know that fish it a lot, 20s is of the biggest, but that 10 to 13 pound range is about what you're going to catch in unders. You're going to catch a lot of 5 to 13 pounders. I've had fun there. I've only fished it 4 times. Every time I fished it, except for one, we've caught flatheads. So I scheduled this tournament in September because I know how great the bite can be. The flathead bite can be in September. So we scheduled it for September 2nd, just before rising sun. So anybody that's never fished Griggs, it's a good time. It's there's not a lot of current there, and you'll see guys dragging for flatheads too because there isn't a lot of current. I've anchored up every time I fish there, and we've done all right, but I may switch it up and drag. There are some giant channel cats in Griggs too. When I was there, I don't know, a month ago, we probably caught, I don't know, 4 or 5 over 10 pounds. Some giant channel cats. So not quite Sandusky Bay channel cats, but giant channel cats for around here. So we're looking forward to Griggs. That's going to be fun. Also, somewhere in the middle of September, we haven't nailed a date down yet, but after Rising Sun and before our event after Griggs, we are going to do a mid-season fish fry down at Daniel's house. Anybody who has fished in a tournament in our series would be invited. We're going to go down and hang out at Daniel's house. He's going to do a big fish fry. Kind of just a thank you for everybody who's fished with us and everybody who's tagged along so far. Because obviously without you guys, what we do here couldn't happen. So you guys are obviously invited to that because you fished with us in Sandusky. But I wanted to let everybody know about that also. So we're running out of stuff to talk about 14 minutes in. You boys better think of something to talk about here.
Hey, you coming down to the Monster Cat Catfishing Tournament September 30th?
I don't know.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard about that one. Right now, my schedule is so – because I like this weekend, for instance, I'm fishing the Catfish Bob Tournament on Buckeye Lake. Me and Daniel are going out there. And then also, Craig and Aaron are going to fish the one on the Muskegon River, the 12-hour tournament Robert Younce is putting on the Muskegon River. Next weekend is, I believe that's Tyra's thing. So we'll be up there fishing that. And then I don't know. After that, we have our event at Griggs. Yeah, this Saturday. Yep. This Saturday, Andy and Craig Shirey are coming there, Andy. Not Andy, Aaron. Aaron and Craig Shirey are coming there, and we are going to fish catfish bobs on Buckeye Lake. So it's tournament season is ramping up here in Ohio. I mean, there's going to be tournaments every single weekend. We'll do our best to share out each tournament to that weekend. You know, there's a lot of people that post, and I share it onto our page on the weekends. We're not fishing because obviously we want to support every other tournament series in Ohio. You know, Ohio's got some great fishing, and it's been on the down low for so long. That's why our trail started. We wanted to let people know that there is great catfishing in Ohio. And not only that, there are great cat fishermen in Ohio. So yeah, it's gonna be a jam-packed schedule from here on out.
Now, next year, with your tournament you want to put on Indian Lake, why is that? Is there a reason you're wanting to put it in October?
It's where it fell on the schedule.
Mm.
There's certain things. There's certain tournaments that have to go in certain spots. You know, like we wanted to be in Sandusky in May. At the start of the season, we're on the river because it's cold and it's blue cats. June and July, I don't want to be out there messing with the flatheads while they're on spawn. So it's where it fell in the schedule. I understand it's going to be a little harder to catch flatheads in October. But I hear of people be catching them October all the way into September or all the way into November. Last year, my buddy got like a 34-pounder and several 20s in October. So unfortunately, that's just where it fell. I also don't want to interfere with anything Tosh has going on. So that's why we picked October.
Okay. And have you guys thought about doing like one on the Maumee?
We did think about the Maumee. The Maumee gets really good the further north you go, and I know that the guys in Michigan tear them up there. I didn't know much about the Maumee in Ohio, and I don't want to be all the way in Michigan because we're an Ohio trail. So
the best like in Ohio wise for the flatheads is from in between Defiance and Grand Rapids.
Okay, well that's maybe something we'll look at for the following year, but the schedule for next year is pretty much set. The only thing I could change is dates based on permits.
Yep.
So I haven't heard back. I messaged Tosh. I haven't heard back from him. I know he runs all those tournaments out there. Just don't want to step on any toes. So I haven't heard back about him on Indian Lake. We're going to Indian Lake. I just want to make sure October is good with him, which I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think he's got anything in October. I think his last tournament runs in September.
Right. That's why we did October. So, guys, this one's going to unfortunately get cut short. I have a lot going on. I just want to get on here. I want to talk to those guys. I wanted to preview Griggs. We were going to have Dirty South Dragon Weights on here to talk about their event. Unfortunately, they had some stuff they had to take care of today, so they were not able to come on. I'm hoping here soon we can get Sean Dolphin on so he can give us a little secret on how he keeps winning. But he's a busy guy too. I may do a part 2 to this later on in the week if he can get on. We had talked about that, but you guys have any sponsors that you guys want to shout out or anything?
Monster Cat Catfishing for all your terminal tackle needs, Cast King, and Takedown Dragon Weights.
Cool. I'm sure they're happy to have you on the team. Obviously, you're out there killing it. I mean, I've watched you grow from a pretty small TikTok channel to now you're getting up there where I am, and you're out winning tournaments. And so we're excited to have you guys fishing our tournaments and happy to help any way we can.
Oh yeah, my one video on TikTok got 55,000 views today.
Oh, nice. So, well, like I said, I haven't been there from the beginning, but I've been there for a while watching you grow, and what I've seen is pretty cool. You know, from the first time I met you at the CatCon last year to now, you're doing great things.
Oh yes.
So, thank you guys for coming on. Like I said, unfortunately, we're going to end this one a little early. I'm going to try to do part 2 later on with Sean Dolphin, or if I can get Dirty South Dragon Weight to get on here and talk about their tournament. But for now, we're going to be signing off. Andy Ward says Sean Dolphin and Ron Hughes are amazing cat fishermen. They've been doing it a long time. I talked to him yesterday. What great guys. You know, they bring a lot to the tournament trail. I think they have a lot of knowledge they're willing to share if people just ask. So, absolutely. So, but that's it for now, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Peyton, Spencer, thanks for being on here. Congrats on your win, or your second place last week. That was a big deal, you know. I mean, you placed up there with Sean, who had unbelievable weights, and then you guys came in right behind him, so that's pretty
Beat
cool.
it by 3 pounds.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, and then a couple weekends ago, I took second over at Indian Lake.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So look, you guys are out doing great things. So, well, we're gonna jump off here, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. Tune in later this week. I'll do a part 2. I'll get Sean Dolphin on here, or I'll get Tyra and Craig on here, and we'll do the other half of this thing. But for now, we'll see you guys out there. Just remember, we enjoy everybody coming to fish with us. And here at Mid Ohio Catfishing, we are fishing local. See you guys.
See you. Thank you.